Legions of Fantasy Introduction. Itonix and Physeru. Itonix is a planet full of light-skinned blue aliens calling themselves the Ichlex, best known as the Ice type. They are the first race to connect together as a highly balanced consciousness, focusing most of their concentration into love, which is logic. It is believed that the Ichlex are on a better understanding among the universe and transforming themselves into a higher existence, which they are even more highly developed than even the most technological civilizations in this universe, such as the number one, which is the Greys. However, what is phenomenal about the Ichlex is that the females of this race become impregnated on chance after meeting their destined partner. Now, what it means to be impregnated on chance is the fact that their planet can activate a female's embryo when there is a purpose, quote-unquote, impulse of activation. So this is how they control their population. They're in love with everybody. Everybody looks at everybody as having kids. Like, say if one woman doesn't have kids and the other one, well, they live very long lifespans. This makes the population well balanced. This is because the Ichlex focus on the power of love. So in return, the planet consciousness is fulfilled, which allows a pure connection between an Ichlex, their inner planet, on the spiritual field or different realm. Through tradition, the Ichlex practice a lot of art and sword, martial arts, and different capabilities of those that are born with jutsus, quote-unquote, creating objects with the mind. The Ichlex live forever and die when they choose to leave their dimension. The rough estimation of the Ichlex lifespan is a little bit over 1,000 years. War or invasions from other humans fear to attack the Ichlex, not vice versa. This is because the planet must be protected by a mystical field of love, which alters time and space because of the Ichlex's consciousness working together as a collective. Also, there is no other race but the Ichlex that thrive on the planet Itonix. Yet, lately, the planet Physeru, which carries the race of human beings whom call themselves the Zeekers. The Zeekers are known to have the largest planet among every planet that has consciousness life in this story. They also have the most physiological, energetically configured system in their form, quote-unquote, body among the universe. There are many different species of Zeekers who live in a monarchy-type society where the royalty rules all. Each species of the Zeekers are categorized by their power level. The Zeekers are the fire type. This race are meat eaters who look mixed with mammal, amphibian, and reptiles. Their bodily functions have a gasoline-like chemical that functions as their blood system. Yes, the Zeekers are completely made out of a hot liquid, putting their inner temperature at 177 degrees Fahrenheit, unlike the Ichlex, which have an inner temperature of 35 degrees Fahrenheit. The Zeekers have the ability to unleash their hot energetic abilities from their hands, mouth, feet, tail, etc. However, things can get a little bit more complex because of the color of fire, which are categorized by its power and personality too. The Zakurazizorus are the guardians of the planet Physeru. A better way to think of them are like police. They enforce the law to keep the planet from destroying itself because of the neutral negative energy that swings time after time on the inhabitants of the planet because of such power levels that the Zeekers focus on of just the material. The Zakurazizorus, pure fire, means that they are a direct descendant of their ancestors. During the Zeeker beginning, each Zeeker was separate by their color, owning different parts of the planet Physeru. Over time, the pure races clashed and interbreeding, causing Zeekers to not only evolve into multi-racial different species, but evolve in power. Over time, all the species of Zeekers that were separated began to interbreed with each other to inevitably grow in power. Soon, there came a Zeeker so powerful, he forced himself to become king. This king would be king to this day, a god of the Zeekers. Over his ruling, he created a more advanced civilization. Because of this, the Zeekers were able to make peace with just as powerful rivals from other planets, other human beings from afar. The king, known as Vorax, the king of Zeekers, this king came into conflict with the Ichlex by his own jealousy and arrogance from the reputation he has gathered as being the most powerful and feared. So he would think that the Ichlex can be alterably destroyed by nonetheless him. However, the beautiful queen of Thizuru, Vona, had different feelings and intentions on power in ruling than Vorax over the time of his reign. She was one of the many who took the Ichlex seriously by cognitively understanding that they were a highly spiritual evolved human race. Anyone who tried to enter their planet simply disappeared. She knew intuitively that by learning from this race, they could evolve their own significantly. At the same time, she deeply lusted for her king, but was trying to do whatever it would take to keep him from the conflict with the Ichlex so both of the planets' orbit near each other would remain relaxed. She knew that if Vorax had a weakness, it would be losing her, for they have been together for thousands of years. Nonetheless, there are only a rare number of Ichlexes that are mortal. The mortal type Ichlex are known as Igodlex. These are impulsed Ichlex that are known to have specific. These are impulsed Ichlex that are known to have a specific destiny that regulates them to leave the planet for a specific cause. They are known to have an X on their forehead, born physically on Itonix specifically. It is a myth that they are purposed to literally accelerate the process of consciousness evolution for their universe, for creation. Because the Ichlex are known to be within the highest levels of consciousness evolution already. Anyone who leaves the planet Itonix is known Jutsu type Ichlex that can only use Jutsu are known as Idamian. Mortal type Ichlex that leave off the planet are known as an Igodlex. A Jutsu and mortal type Ichlex that leaves off the planet is known as an Igodian. Because the mortal type Ichlex leaves off the planet, they will die. They no longer are able to live forever. So myth has it, according to the Ichlex culture, that two different Ichlexes are destined to leave their planet. One being a positive and one being a negative. The negative will be an Igodlex and the positive will be known as the Igodian. They will be impulsed a stronger than normal directional energy in order to spread wisdom across the entire universe. But because this race is at a very high evolution transformation state, they just look at this prophecy of a myth, because they would think that they're already giving so much power to the universe. So that's what's allowing them to even transform into a higher existence. Legions of Fantasy is a realm where many planets, stars, galaxies, and very advanced human civilizations thrive. Through this universe, many human beings, or as current dimensional earthlings would put it, aliens, exist in different federations of allegiances, simply referred as legions. These legions would be simmered down to three truths of intentional consciousness normalities, which are protect, rule, and destroy. These legions are specifically titled as good, who protect, the bad, who rule, and the evil, who destroy. Conflict between the three will be the moral of the story. The purpose of the story is to expand the consciousness through creativity, expressing the fact that there are different levels of evolution where anything impossible is logically possible, because we ourselves are just one story out of many.